Hello everyone and welcome to the second round of the Hindle Exhaust Pro Sport Bike National Championships from Autodrome Saint-Eustache, Quebec, part of the 2014 Mopar Canadian National Road Racing Championships. I'm your series announcer Frank Wood. This CSBK national coverage is brought to you by Hindle Exhaust, Dunlop, and Mopar. Now, ladies and gentlemen, your grid. Starting from 16th position, wearing the number 17 on the Honda, hailing in from Upper Cloverdale, New Brunswick, on the capstan haulage, Toys for Big Boys Honda, number 17, Caleb Noyles. Alongside him on the Yamaha out of Mississauga, Ontario, wearing the number 8, Brent Strong. Moving up now to row 4. On the outside of row 4, the Quebec rider on the ASM sponsored number 314 Yamaha, Hugo Fournier. Alongside him, out of Schaumburg, Ontario, on the Suzuki that wears 40, Marco Souza. Starting from the inside of row 4, on the number 53 machine, hailing from Newcastle, Ontario, Yamaha rider Eli the Ile de Cache. We now move up to row 3. On the outside of row 3, starting from P11, from Caledon, Ontario, on the Honda Canada sponsored number 71 entry, Christopher Garvey. Starting from P10, out of Sarnia, Ontario, on the Blue Streak sponsored Yamaha that wears the number 47, welcome please, Will Hornblower. Starting from P9, from Saint-Hyacinthe, Quebec, on the Kawasaki that wears number 18, Philippe Massé. And from North Vancouver, British Columbia, on the Ruthless Racing Dragon Eyewear Etnies Shoes sponsored Yamaha that wears number 229, Darren James. We move up to row 2. On the outside of row 2, on the 116 machine, out of Mississauga, Ontario, the one-speed Chop Shop Pro Star Honda rider, Trevor Daly. In the middle of row 2, on the number 76 Honda, from Saint-Marthe, Quebec, with sponsorship from Fast Company and Honda Canada, Louis Rafa. On the outside of row 2, on the number 4 machine, the Triumph 675, on track with Raceline and Hindle Exhaust from Terrebonne, Quebec, national number 4, Jean-Francois Cyr. Up to the front row, on the outside of the front row, on the number 31 machine, out of Kleinburg, Ontario, FDS Racing and Royal Plumbing, proudly sponsoring the Warlord, Frank Trombino. And how about a hand for this kid, his first appearance on the 2014 Tour, from Terrebonne, Quebec, Suzuki mounted number 85, Raphael Archambault. Second fastest qualifier out of Caledon, Ontario, on the Castrol Triumph, number 42, Kenny Reedman. And on pole, Honda Canada and Accelerated Technologies, proudly sponsoring the kid from Keene who wears the number 1 plate. He's had it for 3 years and he wants it again. Welcome, please, your champion, Jody Christie. That is the field. 18 laps of sport bike racing await us. Hindle Exhaust proudly presents second round of the Hindle Exhaust Pro Sport Bike National Championship. It's Archambault! It is for sure. Trombino got a good start, but Archambault was brilliant. Oh, there he is. He's leading this race by 2 bike lengths going in through turn 1. Oh, hope springs eternal here as Raphael Archambault. It's almost as though you were listening to the PA and listening to the fans. And speaking of listening to the fans, believe you me, you're an extra player on the racetrack. When this kid comes around, let him hear you. He will hear you. And that will urge him on to greater things. Raphael Archambault, 15 to 20 bike lengths through the off the back straightaway. Archambault leading here on the 85 machine. Jody Christie runs in second spot on the number 1 bike. Then we have, I believe that to be Kenny Reedman on the number 42. Yes, it is Reedman on the 42 machine coming out onto the front straightaway. And then Trombino. And we've gone waved yellow. We have a waved yellow flag going into turn 1 there, so there is some kind of incident that has happened there, and the riders, of course, will be under strict rules and regulations. You cannot make a pass in an area that there is a waved yellow in, so riders must hold position through that area. And Archambault, look at the lead that he's got. Archambault is mounted on a rocket ship, and he's got the afterburners going already. Look at this as he brings it into the bowl. Christie frustratingly trying to keep pace with him, as is Reedman. Now Reedman closing in on Christie from 3rd spot. As back in 4th spot, we find Frank Trombino running on the 31 bike, holding on to 4th. And then there is a gaggle of riders, and we'll pick up on them as they come by. Louis Rafa, J.F. Cyr, and Philippe Massé. So you have got excellent Quebec representation there. Louis Rafa out of Saint Marthe, Quebec. J.F. Cyr out of Terrebonne. And Philippe Massé also wrapped up in that duel for 4th place. And it looks like we have a rider with problems here. That may be the rider that caused that yellow flag. Hopefully he's going to get off the racetrack. He is. He's headed for the pit as Reedman and Christie are starting to close slightly on Raphael Archambault. Archambault keeping a good pace here, and the crew at pit side starting to get just a little excited about this one. Louis Rafa on the number 76 Honda is having one of those rides. I don't think I've seen Rafa ride so well as he's riding on this particular day. Louis Rafa holding on to 5th or 6th when last seen, and battling it out for that 4th position. Top 3 rider. He is in 5th, thank you. Top 3 riders now have given themselves a serious cushion here as they now come off the back straightaway and into the bowl section, the infield section on the inside of this stock car track, with Archambault continuing to lead over Christie and Reedman. Darren James was the rider involved in a crash in turn 3, and that's what brought out that flag. As J.F. Cyr continued to try to chase down at Archambault. Archambault still in control of this thing. I'm going to give him about 10 bike lengths. It's certainly not a runaway, but he is definitely keeping Christie at bay, and that is something to talk about. Now with 18 lap final, of course, he's got to manage his tires and manage himself in this heat. The riders, of course, would be well hydrated coming into this one. Christie closes up very slightly now in turn number 7 and brings it out onto the front straightaway. But meanwhile, Louis Rafa and J.F. Cyr are chasing after the Warlord Trombino on the 31 bike, as is Philippe Massé. And Hugo Fournier, Christopher Garvey, and Caleb Noyles on that number 17 bike in pursuit. Meanwhile, we glance once more to the back straightaway and pick up on the action. Coming in front of the grandstands here is Christie definitely closing, and Raphael getting into a bit of a head shake there. So Raph may be pushing just a little bit hard. The important thing here is Mr. Archambault is to bring that thing home upright. And Christie is definitely making race. Christie has definitely broken away from the race he had going on there with Kenny Reedman, and now has joined the battle with Raphael Archambault. As J.F. Cyr, Louis Rafa, and Philippe Massé continue to battle it out for that 4th spot. That is a 2-horse race up front now. Christie has got the whip out, and he's starting to beat on the backside of that horse. He's got it coming into the bowl right now. Christie has got that thing at full gallop down into turn number 6. He'll stand it up into 7. Raphael taking an inside line there, and Christie virtually running in his wheel tracks as they bring it now back out onto the front straightaway once more. Kenny Reedman's falling slightly off the pace as J.F. Cyr making a move there on Louis Rafa, but he couldn't make it work. Meanwhile, we pick up on our race leaders as they head out of turn number 2 and down into the bowl. Big, long left-hander down at the north end of the track that'll bring them out onto the back straightaway once more, and that's where we pick them up right now as the tail enders make their way past the main grandstand here. We glance to the back straightaway, and here now comes Archambault with the race lead, and Jody Christie about equal distance to what he was last lap around. He hasn't made any serious stabs at Archambault just of late. He may be studying his lines and just waiting for his turn to pounce. And if anything, Reedman will want to close up on that distance. Presently running in a safe and secure third spot, Reedman wants better. Now Louis Rafa, having solved the problem of JF Sear and pulling away slightly from that battle. But even as we watch them go into turn number 2 and 3, the race leaders are coming out of the bowl once more. And we spoke about the very quick lap times that they have here. Jody Christie qualifying with a 46.9. Kenny Reedman was at 47.3 in qualifying. So it takes them very short, less than a minute to get around the race course. And they get into lap traffic very quickly after 18 minutes of competition. Well, you can see it very clearly. You can see it very clearly there as Raphael Archambault has definitely got a handling problem. That bike is wallowing and bouncing under him like a bronco. And he's having to battle that a bit through this section of the race course. We're halfway through, so they're working lap number 10 right now. Lap number 9 is complete. And Archambault having the ride of his life out in front, but watch him now as he comes through the bowl. That motorcycle, the Suzuki 185, twitching, and perhaps that back end sliding out just a tad, and Raphael pushing these tires right to their extreme. Now the tire choice that Raphael Archambault has, he has chosen a medium compound front tire and a soft compound rear. Jody Christie has chosen a medium compound rear, and I don't know for a certainty, but it surely does look like Raphael is perhaps starting to wear out that tire. He's gone for a soft tire on the back. He's gambled on it. It's a hot racetrack and it's very abrasive, and Archambault is under attack. A beautiful surgical pass by the champion. That's how he became the champion. What an excellent pass executed by Jody Christie. He made short work of that contest. Christie, of course, has the best seat in the house for watching Archambault, and Christie knew full well that Archambault had his hands full of handlebar at too many times around this race course. It's finally beat up on him a bit, and Christie has finally been able to take advantage of that situation. Now on to the back straightaway they come once more, and we'll pick up on the number 17 machine of Caleb Noyles. That New Brunswick rider having a national championship ride here at St. Eustache, and Archambault is not giving up on this one by a long shot. Raphael Archambault is right on the back wheel of the nation's champion Jody Christie. They bring it out in the bowl once more, and look at the difference between those motorcycles as Christie jets past the grandstands here, and Archambault sitting right on his tail end, enjoying that wee bit of a draft back there, and perhaps on the back straightaway Archambault can use that to his advantage and bring that number 85 Suzuki once more into the race lead, a position that he enjoyed for several laps at the beginning of this Hindle Exhaust Pro Sport Bike Championship final. Now down the back straightaway, lap rider coming into the bowl here, Caleb Noyles, as chasing him and coming up on him very shortly, Christie and Archambault riding as one. Archambault to the inside, can't quite get it done. Archambault just about touching wheels with Jody Christie, and now Christie getting a real good push off that final bowl section of the corner, and he'll lead in through turns 1, 2, and 3. But now your race leaders are coming up on Noyles, the New Brunswick rider at the tail end in here on the number 17 machine. He riding in the Atlantic Road Racing Series down at Shubenacadie, and right now he has got the nation's champion in behind him, and he's having a good run at it as first of all Christie gets by him. Now here comes Archambault, and he's got by him cleanly. So Archambault And Christie very cleanly by the number 17, and hats off to Caleb Noyles for holding his line and making it safe for the race leaders to get by. Howard onto the front straightaway once more. Christie with his head down. You'll notice the riders, they get their heads down so far that they've only got their chin on the gas tank, and they lift their butts up into the air. That actually helps the aerodynamics of the motorcycle. Jean-Francois Cyr having a very good run there, having caught up to and passed. Cyr catching and passing Trombino. That's the battle in the pack. Meanwhile, up front of the pack, here comes Archambault's got something on the works here. Archambault right behind Christie, looking for his opportunity once more. Raphael out of Terrebonne, Quebec on the number 85 Suzuki. We've got a Honda up front, a Suzuki running in second spot, a Triumph in third, and a Triumph in fourth. JF Cyr now up into fourth place. Trombino unfortunately seems to be fading. His pace has dropped off considerably. But once more we look down into the bowl, and out of the bowl come your race leaders riding as one. Down that back straightaway, here comes Archambault. Archambault has got a good draft there, but he drags in a little bit late. He's lining him up. He's getting him lined up. A big shot to the inside, and Archambault is, no, he's almost there. Just another couple of feet and he would have the line. Oh my goodness gracious. Archambault just about hitting his shoulder on the inside curb, coming out of the bowl there and in pursuit of Christie. Christie is running a textbook race up front. He is very comfortable on that Honda. 3 times in a row he has captured the nation's championship in the Hindle Exhaust Pro Sport Bike Division. And after a second place run at Shannonville Motorsport Park, he dearly wants to win this one and pull ahead in the point standings towards his other championship. Archambault with the race lead again. Oh man, where does Christie get that shot from? Archambault back again. They're back and forth, trading blows as they go. Back and forth, Christie leads, Archambault leads back. And a huge response from the crowd here. La Belle Province is very proud of Raphael Archambault. As this race is beginning to wind down, we're on their last lap right now. Raphael Archambault leading, and they will almost certainly be clear of lap traffic as they come out now working the bowl in turns 1, 2, and 3. Archambault continues to lead. Christie is directly behind him, trying to get into some soft air. But Christie's got that inside move in the bowl that could work. Archambault brings it in. Hits 7, 8, and 9. He'll block the line. Beautiful move. A beautiful move by Archambault, as he may well be on his way. Hindle Exhaust Pro Sport Bike National Championship. The Sunoco checkered flag is ready, and Archambault has done it. He has done it. And a huge response from this crowd. Kenny Reedman will settle for third place. Oh my goodness gracious. Hope springs eternal here in La Belle Province as Archambault has won his very first Hindle Exhaust Pro Sport Bike National Championship. Jody Christie will settle for second spot, and Kenny Reedman brings it home in third. So for the second race in a row, Jody Christie has been handed his pride on a plate. First of all, Kenny Reedman did it at Shannonville, and now Raphael Archambault has done it here at Saint-Eustache.
That race was kind of lonely for me in third place. Yeah, you know, it was okay. You know, Raphael rode a great race. Jody rode a great race. I didn't have the pace to keep up with him this weekend. Unfortunately, my quick shifter stopped working around the third lap, so that was a bit of a struggle. But nonetheless, Raphael rode a great race, and I know he got hurt in the Superbike race. I wish him the, you know, hope he's okay, and if he's not, hoping the best recovery that, you know, so he can get back up here and hopefully he can make it to Nova Scotia.
Jody, this is 2 second place finishes in a row, and you got the number 1 plate.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating finishing second, but you know, it's been It's been fun out there riding my accelerated technologies Honda CBR 600. It's not a long championship, but I got some more time to get some race wins underneath my belt, and I look forward to those races coming up. Overall, I'm really pleased with the way my team's been working. They've been working nonstop, working so hard, and I can't thank them enough.
Now let's have a chat with James Collins, the man who prepared the motorcycle that Raphael Archambault won on. Now the story I heard on this motorcycle, James, was that on Monday afternoon it still had cobwebs on it and was sitting in a drive shed. Is that true?
Not that bike. That was actually the bike Frank Trombino was riding. It was in the woodshed for the last 4 years. So he rode it pretty well. But it's sad that Raphael couldn't be on the podium here. With his injury from the Superbike race when he was challenging for third. It's a shame that he had to drop out and be transported. I wish he could be here. It's an honor to be here in his place. These guys know how much work it is, and they make it so much fun. Having Jody and Kenny here to battle with, and you know who you're coming to play with each weekend, just makes it so much fun.